Assalamualaikum and a very good morning everyone. So in this video, I'm going to discuss the observation and the deduction based on the experiment 5 that you have done earlier. So for experiment 5, the title for experiment 5 is the reactions of hydroxy compound. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify the classes of alcohol and to study the chemical properties of alcohol and also phenol. Okay, so in this experiment, we're going to divide into 3 different parts. So the first part is we're going to treat the alcohol itu dengan Lucas test. So kita recall balik what is the function of Lucas test. So Lucas test is a chemical test that we can use to differentiate between the different classes of alcohol. So remember that in previous video, we know that the alcohol itu we can divide it into 3 different classes. We have primary alcohol, secondary alcohol and also tertiary alcohol. So kita boleh determine the classes itu by using Lucas test. So dalam Lucas test, the reagent that we use is concentrated hydrochloric acid and also zinc chloride as our catalyst. So in the Lucas reaction ini, kita akan produce haloalkane. So the color of haloalkane itu is a cloudy solution. So it doesn't matter what type of class alcohol itu, dia akan produce cloudy solution. So kalau semua classes of alcohol itu akan produce cloudy solution, so apa yang kita akan tengok adalah the time taken for the cloudy solution itu untuk appear, yang akan jadi indicator yang menentukan alkohol itu alkohol kelas apa, either primary, secondary ataupun tertiary. Okay, so the first alcohol that we going to test with Lucas reagent is a 1-butanol. So if we draw the structure and identify the class, so 1-butanol is a primary alcohol. So let's say in this test tube saya ada 1-butanol and also the Lucas reagent. First, after I mix, I left the mixture itu at room temperature for 10 minutes. So refer balik lab manual. If there is no changes ataupun there is no cloudy solution appear, after 10 minutes you left at room temperature, so we need to put in the water bath. So kita akan put in the water bath. So the temperature of water bath for this experiment is 80 degrees Celsius. So awak biar selama 10 minutes. So kalau untuk 1-butanol kita akan nampak still, even after heating pun there is no cloudy solution appear. So your observation is no cloudy solution appear even after heating in a water bath. So deduction kita kena buat adalah, so remember that deduction itu must relate to the purpose of the test itu. So Lucas test ini purpose dia kita nak determine the classes. So deduction awak kena juga berkait rapat dengan dia punya class of alcohol. So deduction is 1-butanol is a primary alcohol, because we know that primary alcohol they react very slowly with a Lucas reagent. So if I repeat experiment with 2-butanol, so after I mix the alcohol with Lucas reagent, so I left the reaction itu for 10 minutes at room temperature. So saya akan nampak still there is no cloudy solution appear. So if there is no cloudy solution appear, I'm going to transfer the mixture itu, then I'm going to heat in the water bath for 10 minutes. Okay, for 2-butanol, after you put in the water bath for 10 minutes, awak akan nampak cloudy solution to appear within the first 1 minute. So observation awak adalah cloudy solution appear after heating for 1 minute in a water bath. So deduction yang awak boleh buat adalah 2-butanol is a secondary alcohol. Sebab awak tengok 2-butanol ni, after awak heat dia react quicker compared to 1-butanol. Okay, now, so kalau saya ada 2-methyl-2-propanol, saya mixkan 2-methyl-2-propanol ini dengan Lucas reagent, immediately saya akan nampak adalah cloudy solution appear. So your observation is cloudy solution appear immediately. Sebab disebabkan Lucas test ini dia ada kaitan dengan time taken, so awak punya observation pun mesti relate balik dengan dia punya time. Okay, so deduction yang saya boleh buat adalah 2-methyl-2-propanol is a tertiary alcohol. Okay, for this experiment kita kena identify the identity of the unknown alcohol. So for this experiment, the unknown alcohol itu kita panggil dia sebagai alcohol X. So alcohol X kita treat dia dengan Lucas reagent, immediately after the mix, awak akan nampak cloudy solution itu appear immediately. So the deduction yang kita boleh buat adalah kalau dia appear immediately, alcohol X is a tertiary alcohol. Okay, so there's a question that I want you to do a research and cari jawapan dia and then create your argument, dan saya nak awak includekan dalam awak punya discussion. So why does tertiary alcohol react immediately with Lucas reagent compared to a primary and secondary alcohol? Okay, so the next part of the experiment itu we're going to do oxidation. So oxidation reaction for alcohol is one of the most important reaction dalam organic chemistry, sebab from the alcohol itu kita boleh create another organic compound with different classes. So kita boleh produce aldehyde, we can produce ketone, and we can also produce carboxylic acid from the oxidation of alcohol. Okay, the oxidizing agent that we use in this experiment is sodium dichromate. Since alcohol itu adalah colorless, so the color changes that we're going to observe adalah color changes of sodium dichromate. Sebab apa? Sodium dichromate, since dia ada dichromate ion, the color is orange color. So when sodium dichromate undergo reduction, maknanya ada reaction berlaku, dia akan produce green color. Green color ni dia refer ke sebab apa? Sebab the reduction of sodium dichromate akan produce chromium 3+. Chromium 3+, the color is green. Sometimes awak akan dapat warna macam turquoise. Itu pun boleh diterima jugalah. So 1 butanol, if I heat the mixture of the sodium dichromate, concentrated acid dengan 1 butanol in a water bath for 10 minutes, what I'm going to observe is the orange color of the sodium dichromate will turn to green. Remember that kalau kita nak tulis observation that involve color changes, awak kena state what is the color before and after the reaction. Dan awak juga kena state the color itu belong to siapa. Okay, so deduction saya boleh buat adalah 1 butanol undergo oxidation. Sebab apa? Sebab ada color changes. Dichromate bertukar warna, maknanya berlakunya proses oxidation. So 1 butanol undergo oxidation, thus 1 butanol is a primary alcohol. Now, proceed to the next test is saya repeat the same experiment, but saya akan gantikan 1 butanol itu dengan 2 butanol. So saya akan dapat observation yang sama, which is the orange color of the sodium dichromate itu will turn to green. So the deduction that you can make is the 2 butanol can undergo oxidation, thus 2 butanol is a secondary alcohol. Now, kalau saya repeat lagi eksperimen ni menggunakan 2-methyl 2-propanol, what I'm going to observe is the orange color of sodium dichromate remain unchanged. So kalau orange color sodium dichromate remain unchanged, bermaksud dichromate ion itu dia tak undergo reduction. Dan ini juga bermaksud the alcohol itu cannot undergo oxidation. So the deduction that you can make is 2-methyl 2-propanol cannot undergo oxidation. Thus 2-methyl 2-propanol is a tertiary alcohol. Okay, so kalau saya repeat lagi dengan alcohol X, saya akan dapat sama observation dengan 2-methyl 2-propanol, which is the orange color of sodium dichromate remain unchanged and alcohol X cannot undergo oxidation reaction. Okay, so the question that I want to answer that includekan dalam awak punya observation, discussion adalah why can't tertiary alcohol undergo oxidation? Sebab awak tengok tadi, kalau kita buat tertiary alcohol, kita try buat oxidation reaction, there's no color changes of the dichromate itu. Okay, so the last test yang kita akan buat adalah identification test of phenol. Phenol ini kalau kita tengok structure dia adalah aromatic alcohol. So if I take phenol, saya reactkan dengan bromine water, what I'm going to observe is white precipitate will form. So the deduction itu adalah phenol is an aromatic alcohol. Sebab apa? Sebab kalau kita reactkan alkohol itu dengan bromine water, yang akan react hanyalah aromatic alcohol saja. Aliphatic alcohol takkan produce white precipitate. So in your discussion, what you should include is, first you should include the brief summary of the procedure, sama je macam experiment 4. Okay, and then include your observation, deduction, chemical equation, and include answer from question from slide 7, 12 and also the lab manual. And then you need to state the identity of the alcohol yang kita gunakan, the identity of the alcohol X. Conclusion tu sama juga, awak kena relate balik dengan awak punya objective. I think that's all for today's video. Thank you.